Good afternoon and welcome to the March 24th, 2026 Water and Sewer Utility Board meeting. We're going to start by asking the board members if there's anything on the consent agenda that they would like to take off and move to be discussed later in the meeting. Good afternoon, Chris.
I have nothing.
Okay, Mr. Zeman.
No, sir.
All right. Thank you. So then we'll go through the consent agenda, which will include the minutes of the Water and Sewer Utility Board meeting on March the 10th of 2026. And then the payroll week ending March 8th of 2026, which was $538,373.76. The payroll also of the week ending March 15th of 2026, which was or is $208,257.72. The accounts payable voucher register, the pay requests, which are found in Appendix A, the approval of the 2026 maintenance agreement with Frank's Engineering recommended by Jill Carr and Bertha Caudell, an approval agreement with Alpha Mechanical recommended by Stanton Volker, approval of the master service agreements, Appendix E, recommended Steph Ross and Keith Penty. Approval of the generator planned maintenance agreements with Evan Barr, recommended by Seth Ross. The U1189 request for signatures for easement from Center Point. This is being done, was requested by Sean. And then the chlorination / water main activation, water line extension, Uhorn Street to 4th Avenue. And that was PD 1038, a fee of $700, recommended by Doug Oldman and Sean Wright. This is your consent agenda, and I would entertain a motion for approval. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I vote aye and the motion carries. We now have some bids to take to look at. And the first one is to approve the bid recommendation in the amount of $2,173,752 to Coberstein Contracting, Inc. for the Eagles lift station replacement and force main completion phase 2 project U1078. This is being recommended by Logan Gopi and Ryan Marr.
Hi, Matt Funny. Look, neither one of them showed up.
Yes. Hey, what can I say but point to you?
I know. Exactly. Logan would have liked to have been here, but he and Ryan both went to Indianapolis to the Indiana AWWA conference. So he graciously volunteered me to fill in for him.
Okay, how are you going to do?
Probably not very well, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
As you're aware, EWSU opened bids on Eagles U1078 lift station replacement Division A, which is the force main section of that project. 3 bids were received and read aloud. The apparent low bidder was Coberstein Contracting at an amount of $2,173,752, which is the base bid plus the mandatory. The bid was approximately 38% lower than the engineer's estimate of $3.5 million, which is good news for us. As we looked into this a little bit in the area, Coberstein has been aggressively bidding, so we found that to be within standard. Our design engineer, Commonwealth, has reviewed and found that it's in compliance, and city purchasing found that it's in compliance, and we would recommend award.
Any questions or comments for Sean? Seeing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve the bid recommendation in the amount of $2,173,752 to Coberstein Contracting, Inc. for the Eagles lift station replacement and force main completion phase 2 project U1078.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I vote aye and the motion carries.
How'd I do filling in?
Pretty good. A few more times, you'll get it under control. Okay, our next procedure is to open the bids for the water service line investigation and replacement, which is on Broadway, Poplar Grove, and Franklin Project U1291, being recommended by Jennifer Kane and Ryan Mara. Jennifer came today, so that's good.
Someone had to show up, so yeah. Well, good afternoon to the board and directors. Just to remind you, this is a project that the contractor would secure right of entry forms and investigate the water service materials for approximately 295 water service line, and then also do replacements as determined. So with that, I entertain the bids received.
All right, we'll get started then. And the first bid that we have here is from Blankenberger Brothers, Inc. And the bid amount is $1,965,000. I'm sorry, let's try that again. $1,965,851. Get it?
I got it. Thank you.
Okay. I don't like the way she slides that. That's good. Yeah. The next bid that we have here is from Dyke Brothers Lumber and Construction Company, Inc. Their bid is $883,651. Our next bid is from Infrastructure Systems, Inc. And their bid is $1,096,550. Regal Inc. Their bid is for $1,874,215. And this is from Sam Trucking and Excavating, Inc. And their bid was for $1,109,785.
Thank
What
you.
would you like to do?
Sure. We will have these bids reviewed by our designer HNTB with input from city purchasing. So I'd like to take these bids under advisement and return at a later date with a recommendation to the board.
Okay. I would like to entertain a motion that we take these bids under advisement and review them and bring them back to the board at a later date. So moved. Okay, I have a motion.
I'll second.
You take it? Second.
Second.
Uh, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye and the motion carries.
Thank you.
So now we have old business. First old business of the water. And the first is to approve of amendment number 4 in the amount of $369,554 to America Structure Point, Inc. for the water program management on call CES/RPR 2023 through 2027, which is U1228, amended not to exceed agreed amount of $1,618,385. This is being recommended by Ryan Meyer and Sean Wright.
I don't know.
Now, what happened? Did they push you out there?
I don't know. It's up to Sean. I can take it if you want me to.
Go ahead. I can fill in.
Okay, all right. I'm seeking approval of amendment number 4 to engage American Structure Point for applying their construction phase services to additional assignments. This amendment is necessary to formally modify the scope to the extended CES RPR services to 3 additional projects with planned construction commencing in the near term. It also restores the miscellaneous support allowance amount to the original contract threshold to accommodate additional unknown assignments, and it adjusts the fees for U-1200 Park Street and U-1269 William L. Brooks Drive to the awarded contract construction amount or cost. This amendment includes the necessary construction services for the 3 following projects. We have U-1189, it's Oak Hill Road from Lynch to St. George, U-1289, Morgan Avenue and Bakey Road, and U-1195, Poplar Grove neighborhood west of Addison. And I recommend approval of amendment number 4 to American Structure Point in the amount stated.
Did you need any help?
You tell me.
Do we have any questions for Jackie? Jennifer, excuse me. Okay, seeing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve of amendment number 4 in the amount of $369,554 to American Structure Point, Inc. for the Water Program Management On-Call CES/RPR 2023 through 2027, which is U-1228. The amounts not to exceed the agreed amount of $1,618,385.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye and the motion carries.
Thank
The next, the next is the water bond approve the change order number 1 in the not, in a amount of $0 to BMB Inc. for the Park Street, Shanklin Avenue to Florida Street water main replacement, being recommended by Jennifer Kane and Sean Wright. Tell us what you're doing here, please.
Sure. I'm seeking approval of change order number 1 to BMB as an intermediate change order to the construction contract. Change order number 1, it's a 0 cost change, and it's going to create 1 new pay item. And this is because the contractor has opted to do horizontal directional drilling as their installation method instead of open cut. So we had to create that new pay item. And then it's going to come in and reduce for 4 quantities those pay items to offset that. So with that, I recommend approval of change order number 1.
Okay. So in the discussions does it work out pretty equal, the amounts
Yeah, right. It's just the change of the installation method.
of the method?
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing none then, then I would entertain a motion to approve change order number 1 in the not in a amount of $0 to BMB Inc. for the Park Street, Shanklin Avenue to Florida Street water main replacement.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye and the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll go to new business under the sewer, and the sewer improvement fund is to approve a new professional service agreement in the amount of $108,500 to Lockmiller Group Inc. for the CSO 022 upsize underflow project, recommended by Mitch Ferguson and Ryan Meyer. Hi, Mitch.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, members of the board and directors. This professional services agreement is with Lockmuir Group Inc. for the CSO 22 upsize underflow project. Scope of services include design and construction phase support for sewer improvements near the intersection of Ray Becker Drive and Ohio Street. This project is intended to increase the underflow capacity and replace the existing CSO 22 diversion structure, along with associated sanitary sewer relocations to be incorporated in the Lloyd for You project. The design services include the evaluation of alternatives, development of cost efficiencies, completion of hydraulic design for the diversion structure and related sewer modifications, as well as plan and specification development. During construction, Lockmuir will also assist with submittal reviews, respond to design-related questions, and compile record drawings for final as-builts. The total not to exceed amount of these services is $108,500. So at this time, I'd recommend the approval of the professional services agreement with Lockmuir Group and would be happy to answer any questions that you have.
So they'll actually take it all the way from design right on through to completion then? From what I understand.
Yes, they will assist in construction phase as any other designer would with any questions that the contractor might have.
Okay, we'll have another engineering firm to inspect then?
No, I would not anticipate that. We're
planning to anticipate the structure point to do that in conjunction.
SRPR. Yes, sorry, I misunderstood. Sorry, Sean.
Go ahead.
American Construction Point is already working on the Lloyd for You project as our CSRPR representation, so they would just.
So this is
probably
part of
amend
that.
that contract to include this work as well.
All right, thank you. Do we have any other questions for Mitch? Nope.
No.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion to approve a new professional service agreement in the amount of $108,500 to Lockmuir Group Inc. for the CSO 022 upsize underflow project.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye and the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, this afternoon is your turn to update us on a few things.
Yeah, we have a rather urgent situation developing that I'd like to have Sean and Bob and Daniel talk about. So I'll let you take it.
We have a sewer collapse that's ongoing in the Yulehorn area at the ADM prod property. And Mitch has been working with us on this to help us figure out a redesign. It's a very deep sewer, similar like Chestnut. We have a similar collapse. And we have a short window to get this fixed and designed and up and running because ADM starts running trucks. And they've already given us a window. Mitch, what's the June?
June 10th through July 31st.
That we have to be out of the area so trucks can move. Mitch and Hannah from Locke have created a design where we can actually bring up the sewer. We're separating some storm, but our window to get this completed just shrunk drastically because of the constraints that ADM has put us under. And obviously we cannot stop hauling of grain. So it's kind of created somewhat of an emergency and looking at the integrity of the pipe and stuff, we don't know how much longer it will last. What we would like is the board to authorize us as an emergency to go ahead and authorize us to go get a couple quotes and move to get it repaired.
How big is this sewer?
It's a 24-inch clay.
Okay, so it's no 5 or 6 foot.
No, sir. But big enough to cause propagating at the surface.
And how
And
deep
it goes right
is
through
it?
their driveway.
Yeah, it's in the center of their drive. It's 30 feet deep to the invert. We've been able to, through design, shallow that up to approximately 21, 22 feet, which saves on a lot of sheeting.
Have they got another way of bringing trucks in right now then?
No,
Well, the volume's nothing like what it will be when it's constant going through there, which is the fearless.
I was gonna say.
We have
I
it.
thought some people would be hauling now.
There are some hauling through there now. And we have a bypass system that's set up currently in there, bypassing the sewer so that it doesn't collapse even worse.
Right.
But the fear is if we can't get in there and start, at least get out of that driveway section, get through that is our goal. That road could collapse and
Where is this on Yulehorn?
Right behind Boots, or the old Boots.
Right on First Ave.
Right by the animal control shelter?
Yes.
Yeah, it's right on First Ave.
You might have been doing some work there.
Well, we have bypass set up.
We set some bypass up so we could get in to evaluate, figure out what all needed repaired, and then we quickly figured out that we needed it. We actually figured out how to get some of the stormwater off and be able to raise some of the sewer. And as we were doing that, we thought we had a little more time, and then Mitch, as we were trying to acquire easements and stuff, found out we had this timeline that, we gotta move.
Collapse, but it's about to collapse.
It's partially collapsed.
Part of it is,
So we have it on bypass right now, so that's
we, unlike Chestnut, where we weren't able to do that and it kept eroding, we were able to get this one bypassed, but the rest of that pipe is in very poor condition. So our request is to allow us to make an emergency authorization so we can go get a couple quotes and get somebody lined up to get to work as quickly as we can.
When you get the quotes and will we be involved in picking the contractor, or will you just report back to us what you've done, or how will that work?
That can be up to you guys. We can request quotes and we can take the low and keep moving, or you can request us to come back and get authorization.
What's the timeline? I know you gotta be finished before, what's the timeline that we have? That you're trying to internally have? In order to get finished, to wrap it up.
We want to try to get out of that area by June 10th so we can stay out of ADM's way. And then we'll allow the contractor, once he gets out of ADM way, to finish the last section at normal pace. But we're
June 10th is the timeline to get through their drive.
correct.
There'll still be more work to do.
Yes.
correct.
We don't think we can get it all completed in that time period, but we think we can get far enough out of the way where we can protect the infrastructure and everything below and allow ADM to do what they need to do. We think we have about a 1 week window, and that also means we're in April and May with rain.
And bid process.
Yes, and 7 days of getting quotes.
So you get quotes from two contractors? is
Yes.
like-
That's what we have to do for the statute.
But you won't fault, it'll just be send it to whom you know that do.
This,
Does the work,
correct.
and then they'll just send it back, not
Yes.
the formal bid.
No.
Advertising, all that stuff.
Nope.
Okay.
that's what the emergency authorization lets us do. Lets us react to get 2 quotes, 3 quotes,
Which is,
2. We have to get a minimum of 2.
Who will do the design work?
Mitch and Hannah,
Do it in-house?
yep. Mitch and Hannah from Lot Group have been laying everything out, getting it set up so that we can, Mitch has got the quote package ready to go out. We just need authorization to go.
But you can put it on the street as early as this afternoon or tomorrow, then.
Yes,
The bid.
that's it.
yes. I've developed a quote package for this emergency type repairs to send to
And then
contractors.
you'll send it to more than 2 so that you at least get 2 back.
That's what we're gonna try to figure out.
We
Yes. We have, for the code, we have to request at least 2. So we're,
on request.
yes,
But I would send it to more than 2.
we're
What's your
gonna
timeline?
reach out to our normal
What's your
people.
expected timeline to get quotes back?
7 days.
Oh, within a week. Wow.
We have to move. If possible.
If you have any estimate of what the cost might be in case the bids come back like 5 way out of what we're expecting?
Yes, Mitch has been working on an estimate.
Preliminary engineering estimate is 2.7 million. That is 2.1 million for the sanitary sewer and approximately 600,000. That actually might be a little high since we were able to shallow the storm up for the storm section.
The total would be
2.7.
As we know from Chestnut, the deeper it gets, the more expensive it gets.
I don't have a problem getting the bid out and letting you guys move as long as it's within some margin of error of that estimate, maybe. To come, I'm assuming you'll use best judgment that if it comes in at twice that, you'll rebid it or come up with a different plan maybe, but
Yeah,
notifying us or us approving it, I'm fine moving forward myself. I don't want to speak for everybody else, but I'd like it to be in some threshold of maybe what we're expecting it to be.
Yeah, our plan is, we've been budgeting around that number after Mitch built that estimate.
One of the challenges is that because of the large volume of very heavy loads that are going to be driving on that driveway, if, delaying is not a good idea. We could get a situation where if we get delayed far enough that we can't start the project right away, the chances are by the time June 10th rolls around, we may not be able to get it done in time, which means that we would have to roll the dice and take a chance that it doesn't collapse while there's so much.
I don't mean to delay the fix. I know it has to be done and done quick. We need to be somewhat good stewards of budget and money as well. I just don't want to get taken advantage of by two bids and then.
Certainly. Well, we'll report to you when we get the bids, what the numbers are and how we're proceeding. We can do that in writing at the time that we get the bids.
Yeah, I don't, like I said,
It'll be before the next meeting.
I mean, I don't want to speak for the board, but I don't have a problem moving forward without our official approval at a board meeting. I just want to make sure the bids come in somewhat reasonably, I guess.
What's your next motion? The 24-inch, what does it serve or what does it do?
It serves quite a big area. You want to explain the area that 24
Yeah,
inch?
so all of the ADM property, all of the Boots, and then south down Third Street, it actually services I think it's an assisted living home and a couple warehouses, and then all of the storm in that area is also connected. It's not a separated, it's a combination.
So does it go over the Fulton then?
It goes out to Yulehorn Street. It flows north to Yulehorn Street, west of, into the big interceptor in Yulehorn Street.
One of the neat perks that we were able to find and Mitch and Hannah were able to do is one of our harder CSO areas is this Garvin Park down Pigeon Creek. We're able to get some of the stormwater off of us, which helps us during activations, during rain events. So proactively, we're trying to take something that's a hurry up, but get something better while we're here. The more stormwater we can take off the combined system, the less likely during typical storm rain events we'll have activations.
No,
We're,
there may be a temporary maintenance of traffic.
I do. I remember it well.
don't jinx me.
We have to close First Avenue.
But do you need some type of motion, I assume, to approve
Yes.
something?
Designated an emergency situation. It allows it to go out and get at least 2 bids.
I'm for making that motion.
Okay, look, I was gonna say, if you want to start the wording, please go ahead.
Want me to?
Yeah, if you've got a thought.
Okay, I'll make a motion to move forward with an emergency measure on the sewer on Yulehorn by ADM to get the project bid and hopefully started. And I don't know what a margin might be, but if it's maybe 20% within our estimate, move forward. If it's more than that, maybe come back to us or via email or how we can do that. That's a long motion. He's making minutes.
He's got
He's
it.
got it, I guarantee you.
Does that sound reasonable, Dick? And
Yeah.
what I said?
Yes.
I'd second that motion. Because you're basically, yeah, we're in discussion now. So you're basically controlling them to keep them within 20% of the 270. The 2.7. And so that gives them the freedom to go ahead and do it. And then they just need to do the procedures, which part of it they've got done, the bidding and stuff. And as long as it flows inside of that, then that's our control on it then.
Unless the bids come back and they're over.
Then we got, then we're gonna
Then you're
have,
gonna have,
we gotta sit down and got another discussion going.
it's got to be expedited because your time frame.
Right.
Kind of worry, everything is like.
Yeah, we might have to have a special board meeting to talk about this since there'll be reasons why it's higher or whatever.
One, yeah,
Procedurally, we would just ask you to call
Right.
Is that threshold seem reasonable? What I
Yeah, that we would normally budget around a 20% contingency. So that's exactly how we tend to.
Thought it'd be more like 10, but, he was generous, so you took it and ran.
I almost said 20 instead of 10 because they said it was.
Right. That
Well,
makes sense.
As we're going through planning, we start at 30. As we get better engineering numbers, it comes down to 20, and eventually we hold 10 as we're moving through the project.
Hopefully the, contractor will hit right on.
Well, that's one of the big things we have to have as a contractor that can move.
And see, the
Yeah,
other
that's one of our
problem,
problems.
the other problem too is finding a contract at this time of the year that's got the time to get it done.
And be able to get 20 some feet deep. This is,
Yeah.
Mitch and I have a lot of work for us in the next week.
Yeah, because I don't know if everybody can handle, well, 20 is not that bad.
We're starting to get to numbers we don't like.
Please don't ask me to repeat that motion.
Do you have it written down?
So we'll get it on camera as well.
Okay,
Like that.
all right. Would there be any board members like to hear it again? Okay, there you go.
I can't say that.
Let's see what she had,
He had a motion to designate it as an emergency situation on Eagle Horn project bid within 20% of the estimate.
Sound all right?
That sounds pretty close.
okay. Is there any other questions or discussion?
I second.
Thank you.
Oh, you did.
Well,
already.
he-
Right, he did already. Okay, then
So, if there's no more questions or discussion, then all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye, the motion carries. Good luck.
I think we're gonna need some.
Let's see now. You were the one who brought that up, weren't you?
I think that's,
Nothing else? That's enough, you think, Vic?
I think that'll keep us going.
Okay. What about, maybe the other directors? I never know which one is supposed to go first.
That reminds.
But I did all the talking.
Do you have anything else, Bob?
There is one I would like to bring up and discuss. We hired Lockmuller to help us with the design in Ohio Street at St. Joe. That was one that Bob brought to us the same way we were able to get in and inspect. Why we're able to get ahead of this one on more so than Newhorn. One of the neat things we're able to do with that is by expediting the design and stuff, is we are able to work with NDOT while that section of St. Joe will be closed as part of the Lloyd for you. So as Bob's team works with us more, we're going to figure out how to do that, get more in sync with us and paving. So that will be a really good project for us. It saves a lot on MOT and some other stuff by moving that one and expediting it. So we're hoping to do more of that type of work coming forward.
Anything else, sir?
I got enough to do.
All right. Then I would ask if there's anyone in the audience that has anything they would, oh, wait a minute. I failed to ask the board if any of you had anything else you'd like to bring up.
Nothing.
Then I'll go to the audience. If there's anyone does anyone in the audience have anything they'd like to bring before this board meeting? Right? Seeing nothing, then our next scheduled meeting is April the 7th of 2026. It'll be at 3 p.m. It'll be here at this pump area. And from there, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye, so the meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your attendance this afternoon. Good meeting, isn't it?
Well,
You never know.
Never know.